Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Strim Stram with the Flim Flam. Nope, this is a podcast. Hello. We have a special visitor with us today. Say hi, Jax. Say hi, Jax. He's hijaxing our feed. Are you on camera? Are you on the camera?
Or like someone screaming. That's pretty funny.
Do it.
Ah! Josh said y'all need a fire sound or like some screaming for that intro, just like of the dumpster fire or whatever. We're having a technical issue here. I don't know what's going on specifically, but we're gonna try and figure this out.
Is it the NDI source not working? It's set in there.
It's not. It's showing it as a source, but it's not picking anything up because I'm pushing the button right now. You can even see it toggling. It's just not doing it. So
Weird.
that's the problem with NDI is it's buggy.
I've never had these issues.
Well, one of the big issues too is that these machines are hardwired out to that network, and then this is on. It shouldn't be on a different subnet because it's just an access point, but it might be. But last time it worked, and I don't remember what it was that I did
Right.
that fixed it.
So, dude. Yeah.
Here through the world tree, you can't build a house for shite. Yeah, because I'm more worried about actually doing fun stuff. If I wanted to build a house, I'd go build a house.
What is actual stuff though? You got to keep warm.
Yeah, go ahead and build me a house. You literally need a cube to stay warm and a little fire. Like
No,
you don't
you
need anything
don't.
functional. That's all you need.
No, you don't.
Or you can just have a fire.
That's why there's different comfort levels in the house.
But who
It's 'cause
cares?
do you know how big the buff is when you get up to like comfort level 10?
Or I could still just go kill stuff and have fun playing the game. Like that aspect isn't fun to me. Building a house is not fun to me. Going out and murdering deer and boar and trolls
But being
and
rested
skeletons.
and having the buff.
Yeah, but I'd just rather have the challenge. I'd rather have the challenge of fighting against that than building a house. There's just no
Okay, then don't eat any food, don't use any buffs, and go kill bosses.
That's all. I'll try. That's the kind of stuff I'd like to do. But once again, that's why I like playing with like my wife and Van because they're all about that base building and doing all that kind of stuff. I don't give a shit about that. I want to go, shoot things. Just like
But you won't
I don't
play
want
Call
to
of
be a
Duty.
camping little bitch on top of a building Call of Duty being like, oh, I'm strategic. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, it is strategic. That strategy does work.
Yeah. And it's so boring. I'd rather put hot irons in my pee hole.
Did you hear that, Bubba? He said hot irons in his pee hole. First off, how big is your pee hole? Because the iron is like big.
Dude, have you seen what they can do to a pee hole?
Yeah.
Those things can stretch like that
That's
big
so
around.
weird.
So, I mean,
So weird.
and I think a hot iron, I think like, what is it, rebar, they put in concrete. So, you get one of those blazing hot.
You say hot iron, though, and I think about like the old style cast iron irons.
Oh, no, I'm talking about like an iron rod. Anyway, so we had to take last week off because of the snowpocalypse that apparently
Good God, dude.
it wasn't even that bad here, but unfortunately Mac and I live on like opposite corners of our city,
Yeah.
and the infrastructure was not like my road wasn't even shoveled until Wednesday or Thursday of last week, and I don't even remember what day the snow came down. I think it came down Monday
Tuesday.
night into Tuesday or
Yeah,
whatever.
Monday, Tuesday.
And it was like, and then they had our kids home. So for him, it wasn't anything different. But for me, like
Yeah.
dumping out a pitcher of water, he was like, if your pee hole was that big, you took a piss and be like dumping out water. Honestly, like that sounds amazing. Like you just go and it's just like slosh right into the toilet. And then
No,
you're done.
actually, it doesn't. Because then you have all the backsplash.
Oh, yeah,
You
that's
have
true.
So much
Like maybe if you
backsplash.
made a toilet where you could aim it very strategically and it's just like a really small hole so the splash has I don't know.
You just walk up and put your penis in it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's
It just-
like space, like a vacuum is just
Yeah.
done. That's what we need. See, these are the innovations that we as humans aren't pushing for that we need.
Bro.
Imagine that. Imagine if like right now while we're sitting here talking, like I just had a little machine, I could just go like zip and just hook it in there and just go and then be like,
I
"All right,
mean,
I'm
I
good."
feel like people on screen can see your dick though.
Okay, we would have to change that. We put a black banner below us or something.
Just
Um,
moves the camera in a bit.
yeah, like I have a button that just like boop and just zooms it in just a little bit. They have no idea why it happened. They think it's for effect. Meanwhile, I'm taking a dump leak.
Like, hey chat, I love you.
Yeah. Hey guys. But yeah, no, so stuff happened
We're gross.
and I can't even keep up. Like, so stuff that happened while we were gone. What's her face got fired off of Mandalorian, which makes me not want to watch Mandalorian anymore.
Did you see about that though? Like what the actual writer of the Mandalorian said?
No, I didn't see that.
He said he's not going to write any more episodes until they hire her back.
So here's where it gets really crazy. So I heard this last night, and this is like, so Disney owns a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
So they own like ABC, they
Fox.
own Fox, they own, so Family Guy. Family Guy says some stuff that would offend any social justice warrior
Bro.
easily. They make gay jokes, Jew jokes.
Family Guy says stuff that offends Family Guy fans.
Right. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, it's super offensive. And there's other stuff owned by Disney that makes way worse claims and does way worse stuff than someone saying, like, don't demonize your neighbor.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, that's basically what she said.
Yeah, I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what she said. Don't demonize your neighbors.
Yeah.
And they literally have made it like, I don't know. It's like I'm getting conflicting information. So they fire her from that, but then you've got Seth making the stuff that he's making on Family Guy. No one seems to care.
Right.
And there's all this stuff going on in the world
Well,
from Disney stuff. Like Disney's making all
and
this
that
stuff.
goes back to what she was saying, right? Is like before the Holocaust, they weren't just outright attacking Jews.
Right.
They were creating propaganda and creating that spatial divide between people,
Right.
as between individual people.
And then it made it really easy to demonize Jews.
And then it made it really, really easy to demonize and kill Jews.
Right. And like, it's just, it just blows my mind though that they can sit there and make some virtue signal
Right.
thing about her
Yeah.
and then have all this other crap going on and then they don't care.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know how to deal with.
I mean, before World War II and before the Third Reich happened, Hitler was probably one of the best painters of that time. He was slated to be like the next Van Gogh.
Yep. Well, not only that,
but his propaganda machine took off.
did you know that Hitler was on the cover of Time magazine?
Yes.
See what I'm saying? Like, there's these things that people don't understand, that these weird shifts happen. And it's like my brain can't even get through all of my thoughts about what's going on right now because it feels like everything is also so interwoven. Right? Like, I feel like,
You know, they say-
Walt Disney was a self-proclaimed, like, he hated Jews. Like, Walt Disney was a super racist. I
Yeah.
mean, like, someone said that was just them going back to their roots.
Oh
They
my
got rid of-
God.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like, I just, like, as I sit here, like, so I have Twitter open and you guys can't see it, unfortunately. I just kind of like scroll through and like, I've got a couple of people that I follow. So it's just like short-term memory loss is like now a thing. You know, you've got finger, snack, don't know the difference. So, like, there's this tweet from the Washington Post that says, Trump administration to shutter Texas tent city for migrant teens.
Okay.
And then the Washington Post, first migrant facility for children opens under Biden. So, like, there's so many things that you sit there and you see, and it's just like, I used to hate the term gaslighting.
Yeah.
I feel like we are in a perpetual gaslighting. Like,
Yeah.
they're constantly trying to be like, okay, so here's my poop thought of the day. This is the best way for me to get around to this grand theory I have.
Okay.
So there are people that won't wear a mask when they go into a restaurant.
Yeah.
And we're frustrated by those people, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not that hard. Just wear a mask. But what happened was those people did see something. They saw this erosion of rights and this authoritarianism that was coming in and this like borderline dictatorship, like we want a monarchy kind of thing that we were moving towards. And so they made the mask the symbol, and that's what they bit down on.
Yeah, that was the hill they decided to fight on.
Instead of other things, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, where is that? We'll talk about that soon too. Stimulus checks, like this $1,200. The thing I love is how they keep stringing you on, man. Dude, when the last stimulus checks, the $600 stimulus check that we got, that literally took them 5 months. They sat there like, well, it's coming up.
Try again.
And
it
then
didn't take 5 months. It took 8 months.
Oh, right. From the first one, right? Yeah, from the first one, they said there were more to come, right? But what I'm saying is they were like, okay,
no. It took 9 months from the last one and 8 months since the institution of the proposal.
Right. Yeah. So, but my point is they like string you along. So like this right here, they're like, oh, we're going to get you that $1,400 a person, man. It's going to happen. And then they're like, it's going to happen. And then they're like, it's going to happen.
Well, it did pass. The bill did pass.
I don't know if it did yet.
Yeah, because it's slated for the first week of March to actually be out.
Let me look.
I was just watching Meet Kevin.
Will your next relief, how can you lose your $1,400 by filling in taxes? Latest details. Yeah, see, Forbes on the 12th.
Yeah.
Which was a week and a half ago. I don't see anything.
I was watching Meet Kevin last night / this morning.
Yeah, we'll have to find out if they did or not. But yeah, so you got that. But anyway, so what I was trying to get at is they chose to die on this mask hill, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just talking about authoritarianism and stuff like that, they decided to use these masks, which, by the way, I do think help. I don't think that they stop it completely.
I don't.
Because you and I made jokes, right? It's like, oh, I sit at a table and all of a sudden magically the COVID virus.
That's what I'm saying. That's why they don't help.
Barrier. Right? Yeah. There's something to it that's just like.
Well, and cloth has never stopped virus anyway, ever.
Right.
Like putting your fucking face in your shirt doesn't stop you from getting tuberculosis if you breathe in toxic air.
Right. Yeah. So it's just one of those things like you can have those arguments and those discussions, but that shouldn't be like you shouldn't go to Costco and not wear a mask and then record a video of you trying to go into Costco without a mask and like be like, you know, I'm fighting for your rights. You know what I mean? Like that's such an ignorant perspective.
You know, that's not only ignorant, but it also goes against what even the government has said, right? Because government said privately owned businesses can act according as they wish.
Well, in some states, remember, in Indiana, we have a different world, dude. In California, you can't open your business unless you have those requirements in place.
Well, no, that's federally. There's no law that says you can't open your business. It's just a mandate. And you're going to get fined.
Right.
Let's look at the guy.
It's not constitutional to do that. You see what I'm saying? Like, no matter what, they don't have that actual authority to tell people that.
Right. So let's look at the gym out in Colorado, right?
Yep.
It's a veteran-owned gym. Guy's a retired Marine Corps.
Is this the guy that's like all funded now by GoFundMe or whatever? Because
no,
they, like, find him
he's not accepted anything.
Oh, okay.
Like he's just fighting on his own. He's going to win.
Have you heard about the gym that literally they're getting fined like $15,000 a day by the city of New York, and they have a GoFundMe?
Oh,
and they're
might be the same guy. Might be the same guy.
Yeah, so there's a GoFundMe that is actually paying for it every day, you know, and it's like, do you not know how screwed up that is? Like, does anyone realize how stupid that sounds? Like, we're going to fine you $15,000 a day to let people who have the choice, whether or not they go to your gym.
Right. Go to your gym.
Go to your gym.
Yeah.
Like, what has happened that we have lost? And like, I get it. You know, you get these liberals, and I'm saying liberals because I do think this is more of an issue with liberals, where they're like, oh, well, you know, people don't know better. Well, you know what? That's their right to not know better.
People do know better, though. That's the thing, is we know better. We just don't give a fuck.
I don't care, right? I want to go do something,
like,
you know?
I don't care at all, okay? I've had COVID. I know what it feels like.
Supposedly, So have I.
Yeah.
And my 71-year-old dad has had it.
Yeah. I know what it feels like. I know the risk. I'm okay. I've had 12 heart attacks. I don't care.
Right.
If a virus is going to kill me, it'll kill me.
I mean, it happens, right? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, but you want to have that freedom. There was a piece.
I want to go to the gym and stop being fat, James.
Right. I got you, dude. I feel you. And you know what, though? What's even crazier is you and I are like, we can't go to the gym, but there are people in the United States that can't go outside. It's
Yeah.
against the mandate for them to leave their house,
Yeah.
to walk their dog.
Yeah.
Okay? That's insane. Like, you and I are like, oh, well, I got to wear a mask. And it's funny because there was this, so it was on, yeah, it's California. But it's not just California, dude. It's like
New York is the same
New
way.
York's the same way. Now, but the thing is like, dude, those people in New York, I talk to people that I think have level heads that live in New York, and they are so terrified of COVID. I mean, like, literally terrified of
And
COVID.
I
And
don't
it's-
understand that.
I'm just like, first of all, dude, you're like 28 years old to 35 years old. Shut up. You're fine.
Right.
You know? And they're like, well, I know someone that was 35 died. Were they really fat?
Yeah.
Were they really unhealthy? Did they have a really bad lifestyle? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things that they didn't, you know what I mean? Like, it just blows my mind that we're in this situation where we have to sit here. But once again, so anyway, so Tim Pool, he's at this cafe. He's like out of state. He's out kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, hey, he comes up and he's like, hey, man, you're Tim Pool. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, do you mind coming over and talk to people at my table? I want to introduce you. And he's like, yeah, sure. So he goes and sits down with them. And he asks them all, he's like, so how has COVID affected all you? And they were in an area more kind of like Indiana or like Florida, like
Yeah.
not Orlando, but outside Florida. And they're like, that hasn't affected me at all. I go to work because we're not stupid. We don't wear masks. We just go to work. We do our lives and we've been fine. Yeah, some people have died, but they're usually older and blah, blah, blah. And they go, and it's like this whole thing is like this realization, just like, oh, wow. Life was normal for a lot of people in the United States, but we always worry about LA and New York. I am so over those cities. Like, I am so over these large, gigantic cities
Yeah.
that create their own issues, and then their policies then being inflicted on all these people like us
Yep.
that live in like
Yeah.
suburban and rural areas. Man, I want to be able to go grocery. I went into the grocery store here, and the thing is it's spreading. The fear is spreading. Got a little place over here. I won't name it so people can't narrow me down, but like right over here, it's this little hole in the wall store. It's
Yeah.
like it's not a gas station. It's just like a little convenience store. And I go in there, and I forgot to wear my mask, dude. And those women stared at me as if I were the devil himself walking in that door. I was like, oh
Right.
crap, I forgot my mask, and I went back and got my mask.
Right.
And it's just like one of those things where when I got in the car, I sat down for a minute and I was like, man, they were terrified.
I mean, so a little bit closer to home for me, my sister, dude, absolutely mortified of COVID. Like, mortified.
Right. Yep.
Like, would put her groceries in the back of her pickup truck so they weren't in the cab with her. Get
Okay.
home, take antibacterial wipes
Right.
and spray and wipe down every single grocery bag.
Yep.
Wipe down
Every
the
grocery.
truck,
Yep.
every grocery, everything.
Yep. We did that like
Wash
the
her hands
first
like
week.
900
Yeah, we
times.
did it the first week.
Disposable one-time use. Like, she must have went through $4,000 worth of masks.
Yeah.
Like,
You watched Good Mythical Morning,
bro.
right?
Yeah.
Did you not see the episodes where they were literally like he would take stuff over to Link's house or Rhett's house, and they would literally like wipe it down with
Yeah.
like stuff. Like, that was our world. So your sister
I
just
never
stayed in
did
that
that.
world. Right. Yeah. But it was our world for literally a week. Like, we were like, okay, this is ridiculous.
I was
And then we were done.
in Florida at the time. Do you know what we did? Chase down Florida, man, down the main highway.
Yeah. Yeah. What day is it? Oh, there's some crazy guy running down the highway.
Like, hey, meth head, stop running. Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
you need to wear a mask if you're going to smoke meth. Like,
Right.
That's Florida's mandate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, don't get me wrong. We went to Disney in October, and I did not enjoy it at all because the rules made it just not a very enjoyable experience, right? Like the COVID rules, the mask rules. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine wearing a mask on a ride where half of the fun of the ride is the wind blowing on you and stuff, and you can't even feel it because you got a mask? Oh, by the way, it was 95 degrees outside and humid
Bro.
and hot and disgusting.
No.
It was just like, okay, come on. You know what I mean?
I went out to Top Golf in Orlando with a couple of people I met on Twitch. And like just walking from the parking lot to the place where I could take off my mask.
Right.
It was like 94, 95 degrees, like 1,000% humidity.
Yep.
Nah. Nope. I don't like that. That's
no,
not
it was
fun.
not comfortable at all.
At all.
You feel like you're gonna die.
And then I walked
You're fine,
straight,
but you feel like
and then I walked straight in to the level 2. He's right here.
I just don't want to make sure he touches the heater.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm worried about.
Oh, he'll only do it once.
Yeah, he'll learn.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But like we got up to the platform where we're playing golf, right? And we all take off our masks. There's like 90 people on this one floor, no mask.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Like, what did we just do?
Right. What did you save yourself? A walk to the parking lot.
Right. Oh no.
I just.
And I got COVID sitting at home. Like, we had just had the baby.
Right.
I wasn't going out.
Yep.
He was preemie. I was going literally from my house to the hospital and back. That was it. That was the whole extent of my trippage anywhere.
Right. Yeah. No, I remember.
We were having groceries delivered to the house because, you know, preemie, you got to keep on them or they die, you know.
Right,
Babies do that.
Right.
What do you want?
Yeah. We changed our life so much for something and it doesn't feel like we benefited. Do you remember original projections? So original projections were 2 million dead. Okay.
I thought you said projectors, and I was like, why?
No.
That was a weird change of pace.
No. Projections of deaths from COVID.
Oh, yeah.
When it first happened in March, like when we had our first shutdown, the first estimate was 2 million.
Right.
Best case.
Yeah.
Was their best case. Then as things went on, it changed to 200,000. That was where it was. If we do this shutdown, and if we do these things, only 200,000.
Right.
Well, we did the shutdown, and then we extended the shutdown, and we extended the shutdown again.
And what,
and now we're sitting at
500,000?
500,000, and that's after 9 months of like a half shutdown, right?
Yeah.
So what I don't what I guess I don't understand is why. Right?
There is
so
no
like,
why.
And it's just I don't know. I'm
Look,
trying to like
we
get
know
this out,
why.
but it's just
right. We know why the shutdown. We know why the restrictions.
right. I mean, but do we know the why? We know the why, like the why they told us.
We know the why, like the real why.
Right. Yeah.
Not what they told us, not what they want us to believe.
Right.
People have been saying it since the beginning of all these mandates. And I firmly believe it is the government trying to step in and limit liberties.
Oh yeah.
And take away freedoms.
So there was a feminist. I really wanted to be able to show this today, but technical difficulties. She was on, is it Tucker Carlson that's on Fox News? Is that the guy's name?
Yep.
I think it was Tucker Carlson. This is a woman that is like labeled as far left feminist.
Yeah.
Okay. And even she is getting on TV and being like, we have never eroded our civil liberties. We have eroded our civil liberties more now than we did for September 11th, for the HIV pandemic. And she was like, we've never done this for a pandemic. We've never done that. The only time we ever limited liberties was during a time of war. Yeah. And we're not in a time of war right now.
No.
Well, I mean, we are because it's America and we're always at war. But
well,
what
we're
I'm
not.
saying is we're not
at war.
We're not like an imminent threat, right?
Yeah.
And so you even have people from like the left who were going like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is getting outside of this realm of authority that I'm willing to accept. And I go through like these I go through these moments where I'm like optimistic and then I'm not optimistic and I'm optimistic and I'm not optimistic. Right now I'm optimistic.
So you're bipolar.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just I look at things and I go, oh, well, things are getting worse or, oh, things are getting better. I do think that we're heading towards a point of sanity where people are going to realize like, oh.
See, I just really only look at it one way. We're screwed. We have dug ourselves such a hole that if we do start to climb back out of it, the amount of erosion that has taken place will just continue to erode, and there's nothing we can really do
Right,
to
but that
stop
could
it.
be argued all the way back to Bush and the Patriot Act. I mean, the Patriot Act was like the first major, the first major erosion of our civil liberties in our lifetime.
Yeah.
And so I think that if we see that, I just, don't touch that, bud. Don't touch it. Don't. Whew, that was close. We have a heater right here. And this kid is just like, ooh, you can be mad at me all you want, son. I'm saving you. That's right.
And see, that's okay. So, right there, prime example, doing something as a quick, immediate action to save somebody a ton of pain.
Right. Yeah. Right.
That's acceptable. Doing a mandated shutdown for like a month, something like that.
What was it? 15 days to stop the spread is
Yeah.
what we were told.
Yeah. And doing that as an immediate reaction, as an immediate, like, let's get everything squared away and get things stopped. That's acceptable, right? A year later, we're still having these weird ass mandates, and that's not acceptable.
No. Did you see that they're saying that they plan on us having to wear masks into 2022?
What?
2022. Like,
Why?
not even a year from now, because they didn't even say a year. They said a year, and then they backtracked that statement. They're like, yeah,
Yeah.
within a year. And
Let's
then they're like,
circle
no,
back.
I'm sorry, into 2022.
Let's circle back.
Yeah, circle back. Yeah, let's circle back.
We'll circle back to that.
We'll circle back to that. We'll circle back to that.
Don't worry, chat. We'll circle back to that.
We'll circle back to that. No, like, so you have that going on, but then also you have like this. It's like Cuomo, right?
Man, fuck that guy.
Dude, I'm so over Newsom and Cuomo, man. Like these two guys, like trying to act like they're so great. Now Cuomo's New York, right?
Yeah.
Cuomo's the one that literally killed several hundred senior citizens by forcing COVID infected people back into nursing homes and killing a bunch of old people.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're finally going after him. But, like I like the fact that it even made, okay, so so this is the link, man. It's like these links that come through. So this just came up my feed right here. The New York Post. Harry Shearer will no longer voice the Black Simpsons character. Do you know the black doctor in The Simpsons is voiced by a white guy, but that's racist because he's not black. So he's been taken off the show.
What? He's been the voice of that doctor for like ever.
I mean, how long has The Simpsons been airing?
26 years?
6 years?
Yeah.
27 years? All of a sudden, now he needs to be off the show. Are you?
So are they going to get a dude to play Bart Simpson then?
Well, yeah, see, but dude, no, that's okay because it's a woman. You have to understand intersectionality, dude. She's a woman, okay?
Right.
And she has been oppressed by men for so long.
That she gets to play a
that
punk
she gets
kid
to play
on
a
TV.
punk kid boy. But how dare you assume that Bart's a boy? He's never came out and said that. He could identify as a girl. That's my point, dude.
Bro, if Bart
This is the
identifies as a
logic.
girl,
This is the logic they
I'll
follow.
lose my fucking mind.
This is the logic they follow, man, and it's crazy to me. There is such a difference between respecting someone saying that they're a woman
Right.
as an adult and they're transitioning to a woman. There's such a difference between that and then saying that a man can't play a woman. And so, for instance, like what's her face, Scarlett Johansson was wanting to do that. She was wanting to play a trans man in a movie.
Yeah.
And they said, no, a trans person should play the trans man in the movie. And I'm like, why? Like, they're
It's a
actors.
movie. Yeah.
They're actors. They're acting like
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to. It's just, dude, we're in such a weird chat. I don't know.
And that's a whole different way to look at it, right? Is they're actors, right? Let them act. Let them do the thing. Like nobody got upset when Robert Downing Jr. played a white dude pretending to be a black dude, pretending to be a white dude, pretending to be a black dude in Tropic Thunder.
But they're retroactively going after.
They're
these
not
people.
though.
No, they are. They're gonna go after him.
The other people in that movie and the other the
like
black
Ben Stiller and all
actors
that stuff,
community were like, nah, we don't
Dude,
care. That was
hilarious,
funny.
dude. It was so
Yeah.
funny. But what I'm saying though is you just got to give it time, man. And it also takes people time. Like I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna quote a show. So calm down, everybody. Exactly, Mrs. Pugh. That's the whole point. Like Scarlett Johansson isn't actually Black Widow. She can't actually jump off of a building and land 6,000 feet below.
I would say the only one of those superhero actors that can actually do what the superhero does is Keanu Reeves as John Wick, because he's a monster. Yeah. And the dude who played Hawkeye, because that's not a real superhero.
It's a bow. He uses a bow.
He doesn't have any superpowers.
Right. Yeah. Like it's just. You know what's funny though is maybe he can't actually shoot a bow. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe we don't even know, but he's an actor.
It's a Nerf bow.
Yeah.
Zing bows.
Right. Well, it's got like 1 pound of pull. You know what I mean? See what I'm saying? Like, you know. So anyway, but yeah. So like you have that, but where was I going with this? I lost my track. Long story. It's just bonkers. And we're in this world where, you know, like that quote was like, facts don't care about your feelings or whatever.
Yeah, and they don't.
You know, but they don't. And like, but now we're in this whole world where it's like, well, our feelings don't care about your facts.
And it's weird.
And it's like, I can't fully process this yet. You know what I mean? Like I'm having a hard time living in a world where someone who has voice acted a character for 20 something years of their life, the peak of their career, the epitome of their career, taken away because of this.
Yeah.
It's just mind-boggling to me. And what's really crazy to me is in the end, what does it save?
Nothing.
And what are you telling the black person that takes over? Because what are they going to do? They're either going to A, release or get rid of the character and have a new doctor.
Yeah.
Or B, they're going to have somebody come in and take over, right?
Right.
What does it say to the person who takes over if they're black? Well, you're only in this role because you're black.
Right. I mean, it goes back to what Candace Owens was saying, right? You cannot beat systemic racism by just giving black people things that they don't deserve, right? And they haven't earned and they're not qualified for. So if you take a black student who's not prepared and you push them through all of these grades, you take any student,
right? Any student,
and you push them through high school, knowing that in the 9th grade they started playing football and they can't read by the time they're a senior,
right? And
then throw them into college, no matter what their color is, but specifically we do this for the black community right now.
Mm-hmm.
You are hurting,
right?
Any cause, across the board,
right? Yep.
Because you're doing stuff like that.
Right. And it's the opposite way too, right? Like hurting someone who has done the work and has put in the time and effort. You're also de-incentivizing people to put in the effort.
Right.
So it's like you gotta just let things play out in a way.
Yeah.
Right. I think though the other thing too is when we talk about racism specifically. So we got off track. I want to get to my quote that I was gonna make here in a second. That was absolutely hilarious. It's the "ha gay" from the Community, right? That dude is Asian.
Ever. Yeah.
Okay. But they haven't went after him yet. But the moment like the internet remembers that, the dude's going to be canceled. And his career is going to be messed up for, 4 or 5 months or whatever. And
does he care though? He's a doctor.
Right. I know. Yeah. Have you ever, like, his story is amazing.
His story is
dude.
crazy.
Him and his
good.
wife, like his wife going through cancer and like all this stuff. Like,
right.
That dude, absolutely crazy.
Like he's a real doctor that worked at Cedar Cyanide. Like saved people's lives and was like, I just want to make people laugh.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, he's hilarious, dude. The dude's funny as all get out.
Have you heard his stand-up? Have you watched his stand-up?
No, I'll have to watch it.
It's raunchy.
Oh, well, I'll have to watch it then. Yeah, he's pretty...
Oh,
wait, I think I might have watched him. I think it was, like, pretty raunchy, and I was like, oh, my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he was bad in The Hangover. And then, I watched his stand-up and was like, oh, no.
So the one that threw me for a loop, stand-up comedians that threw me for a loop, especially for me, was Bob Saget.
Oh,
Because
I
it's
had
like
no
Full
idea.
House, right? You think
Right.
Full House, and then
I'm
you
watching
see him
Danny
on
Tanner.
stage.
Danny Tanner gets up, tells like one dad joke, and then he's like, "So."
So, and then he says
Like,
something that's like,
oh god.
yeah. Like he says stuff that just takes you for a role, you know.
He's like, "So I fucked your dead grandma the
oh
other day."
yeah,
You're like, oh,
yeah, exactly. That's what
Danny
happened.
Tanner said
And
that.
you know, I think when that happened was my mom
Yeah,
bought a tape of his stand up for us
Yeah.
as kids because he was from Full House.
yeah.
And I think she got about 7
12,
minutes into
12
it.
seconds into
And
it.
she was like, ah! And then we were like, oh, okay. Well, we learned that about Danny Tanner. You know?
Right.
So, yeah. But anyway.
But let's look at something there, though, right? Danny Tanner, Bob Saget has Danny Tanner, right?
Right.
Bob
Yep.
Saget also has Bob Saget on stage,
right.
right? The people that worked with Bob Saget when he was being Danny Tanner
Right.
saw him as Danny Tanner, saw him as a father figure, saw him as a
Right.
wholesome, moral, like morally straight person. And then when he came out with his stand up, they were like, yeah, we knew he had that side of him. Danny Tanner is just a character that he was playing. Like, we still love him. He's still a great person.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
and who cares?
It's
Like,
just comedy. Get
it's
over
comedy,
it.
right? And I mean, I love going to comedy shows. It's one of my favorite things. I like being shocked by things.
Oh, yeah.
Like I love it. That's like the fun of stand-up comedy.
Like, that's why I don't find like Kevin Hart or Kevin James funny. They don't have any shock value at all.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Like
Cat
Dave
Williams,
Chappelle.
Cat Williams, Dave Chappelle, hilarious
Right. Yep.
because they just
They say stuff you're not supposed to, and
Right.
it's good.
like
because-
season 1 of the Chappelle Show,
Oh, the Chappelle Show, man. Yeah.
episode 1.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean,
It's
just,
the black racist.
did you watch his most recent stand-up comedy on
Yeah.
Netflix? Like he did a Netflix special.
Yeah,
Like some of the stuff he said, like about like
everything.
well, what's his face though? Specifically,
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby, dude. Woo, boy! I was like,
Yeah.
hi, cha 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 cha.
I don't know if I should be watching this.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is Dave Chappelle found a loophole. He's in Ohio, by the way. We
Yeah.
should totally drive out
Yeah.
and do one of his outdoor shows.
Yeah.
So Dave Chappelle does an outdoor show right now. He's an outdoor theater to get around all this COVID stuff. And he just rags
Bro,
on
we
it,
should
man.
go.
Yeah, man. And then and the thing is like people like Joe Rogan will fly up and do
Yeah.
like random guest appearances. And
See,
stuff
that's
like
why I like Joe Rogan. It's because he has like a minor shock value where he just pushes buttons for no reason.
Right. But he also takes things. So the one thing I really like about Joe is he tries to stay in their rule set and still bring it all the way around and still get you and then
Yeah.
show the stupidity of your rule set. So
Yeah.
like he has a really good comedy. I like Joe Rogan. What's his face got canceled? We went and saw him live like 6 months ago during COVID, like during the peak of COVID stuff. What's his best friend's name that he hunts with on Meat Eater?
I don't know.
He Brian Callen.
Oh, yeah,
Brian
yeah.
Callen. He played like the coach on the Goldbergs and a couple
Yeah,
other
yeah.
things and stuff like that. He is hilarious. What's up, One Way Hawkeye? But yeah, but anyway, so like that statement, the hot gay thing or whatever, is like that dude in no way, shape, or form was saying anything about homosexuals
At all.
at all.
No.
It was not targeted towards anyone who
Right.
had a preference of the same gender.
Right.
Right. And it's like, but they're going to come after him. And we're
Oh.
in this world where it's like my kids, I keep trying to explain to them now, and they're really little, so they don't get it. But I'm like, you don't understand. Your whole future of your life, everything you do is going to be recorded. I don't have that problem. Up until
Oh.
I was 20 years old, nothing
I don't
did
think
or
until
said.
I was like 23.
Right. Yeah. So for
24.
me, like when I was 26, like you were pretty safe to do some pretty
Yeah.
stupid stuff on the internet. But
I mean, like, let's look at all the dumb stuff we did as kids, right?
oh right, yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
you can't do that as a kid now.
Let's take a minor example of like a kid throwing an egg at a house. We
That's
used to
what I'm
egg
saying.
houses, right?
Toilet
But
paper
now-
and trees on Halloween.
Right, but now there's some kid with a TikTok video, and then they're gonna go out and they're gonna crowdsource, identify who the people were, and they're gonna
Yeah.
charge them with crimes. Like we're in a weird world, man. I just We haven't even actually talked about an actual topic today, by the way.
I
We're just
know.
kind of rambling, and I'm fine with it because
Yeah.
it's just like, but there's just so
It's our
much.
first week back.
Yeah. We're getting back to it.
One topic that I do want to talk about.
Yeah, you have one you want to talk about.
I do have it. I have a topic, chat.
Here we go. Segment begin.
BlizzCon Online 2020. Metallica plays 2021. Excuse me, 2021.
2020 has ended.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
though it's
It
like
just
day 450.
this
of
is
2020.
right. Welcome to February 1st, 2020, part 2.
Right. Yeah, part 2.
So, BlizzCon Online 2021. Metallica is playing a song. They're live. Like, they're on playing.
Okay, so on the official Blizzard channel,
On the official Blizzard channel
Metallica is there,
is a guest for BlizzCon.
and they're playing
And
live.
they are playing live. And Twitch goes over top of their music with some garbage, like,
Oh, wait, I didn't even know this.
yeah. So if you watch the Twitch stream back, like if you go to the VOD, it's all like non-copyright music playing over top of Metallica. Like they muted Metallica, put on this garbage crap that kind of sounds like Metallica-ish. But then there's like jingle bells and all kinds of other crap in it. And you're like, this is 1985 all over again when they lost the daggone music award to the dude playing a flute.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Those
because
poor
he
guys.
just happened to put himself in the
I have no
category.
sympathy for them at all.
I have
mean,
no
I don't.
I have no sympathy for them whatsoever. I just think it is incredibly ironic that Metallica gets DMCA'd and gets the sheet pulled down over top of them and just punched in the gut because they started all this crap with Napster.
Right.
Because when Napster was around, they started it out as an anti-piracy thing. Like, we don't want piracy. I got that. You got to make your money, right?
Or sure.
But if
They
people,
don't even make money off of their records anyway.
if people are downloading your song and listening to it and then come to your concert, you're making money,
That's when
stupid.
they make money.
Yeah.
Most artists will even tell you that if
They don't
you're
make
in a
money off an
major
album.
label, they don't make money off the songs.
Yeah. They make money off of the concert.
Right. The
So-
label makes the money off the songs.
Right. And so
Right.
Lars Ulrich and Metallica fighting against piracy started all of the DMCA stuff that we know today.
Yeah.
And so now for them to be DMCA struck is just like, serves
Remember
you
that
right.
9-year-old girl that you hit
Right.
with a DMCA strike?
Right.
And for
Remember the 14-year-old girl on, or 14-year-old, I can't remember if it's a girl or boy, on Napster that you sued for like $18 million.
Yeah. Do you remember how they were boarding it too? They were saying that because of the way that it worked, because it was basically torrents, that
Yeah.
if you downloaded it, you would also distribute it to thousands of people, and then you were subject to a
Yeah.
fine for distributing to each person. So
Yeah.
basically, every person that had used Napster, which was
Everyone.
millions of people,
Everyone.
and then now all of a
There
sudden
were
you're gonna
enough
say,
people that used Napster that we started LimeWire.
right? Yeah, then we had LimeWire, Kazaa, you had
Don't-
Napster. I mean,
we
all
had
of them.
We had Napster, we had HIV, we had full-blown AIDS. We had
Yeah, we had everything,
chlamydia.
dude. Yeah, dude. But
We even had Bonsai Buddy,
And you
which was
know-
like,
you know the thing about Twitch, so we'll kind of convert this to like a content creator kind of
Yeah, yeah.
conversation here. Is like Twitch isn't doing anything to make Twitch somewhere I want to be.
Mm-mm.
Right?
No.
I haven't streamed on Twitch in a while. I've been on Facebook. My streams have been lower in viewership,
yeah,
but I don't feel bad. And the people that show up want to be there, right? So like I'm not
you
too
have people that
upset.
show up though.
That's true too. But I mean, I guess, right? But what I'm getting at though is that
I have one person.
right. But what I'm getting at is that Twitch isn't making it like an accepting place to be.
Right.
And that's for the average guy. But now they're even making it where like artists don't want to be there.
Right.
Like Metallica's not going to start up a stream now. They're not going to go
No.
start an extension thing on Twitch.
Nope.
They'll probably go to YouTube where it's actually really easy for them to be like, well, it's me. And then they go, oh yeah, that's cool.
Oh
Right.
yeah, that is you.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? Because
what's up?
it's just so. And the other problem too. So this goes into a larger conversation of automation
Yeah.
of moderation.
Right.
So like, look at Facebook. You know, we were talking about that case where the guy had raped
Raped and
woman
killed two 15-year-old
people.
girls.
On a live stream for like 36 minutes.
Yep.
So just imagine how many things are going on Facebook at a time. It is actually impossible for them to moderate that without actually making it like they would lose money because they would have to hire so many people full time to just be clicking through.
Yeah.
And the problem is you don't know if it's private. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just so much that you just don't know. And I mean, like, and with DMCA, so that's why they automate it. Like moderation is automated. DMCA moderation is automated.
Yeah.
You know, there's stuff like YouTube now has it where they can, as you are speaking, so like everything we're saying on the YouTube live side, they're scanning everything we say. And if we say certain key phrases, that auto moderation will instantly demonetize, instantly deprioritize, and possibly even shut down our stream.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely insane that we've gotten to that point, but it's the only way that they could move forward and survive, right? So like it's a really interesting topic to talk about, like what are these web pages and freedoms. Oh man, I saw this hilarious picture yesterday that was talking about this. So like I honestly believe that you should be able to say whatever you want on any page.
Yeah.
And as a company, they don't have the right to silence you because I also am very pro First Amendment, right? And free speech. But what I'm getting at though is that they are a business and they do have to worry about their money. And there was this picture that like basically summed up the thought of like, well, you know, we shouldn't have let them let people do this, you know, or whatever. But what I'm getting at is that I don't know where we go. Because they have to do something, right? Because we don't want Twitter to just turn into like everywhere you go is smut.
You don't want Twitter to turn into how Twitter was 4 years ago.
Sure, I don't know.
Twitter when it first started, even with 120 characters or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like walking into a real life Modern Warfare 1 lobby.
Oh, right. Yeah.
What just happened?
I don't know exactly, but we're going to roll with it.
Okay. I am mass confusion.
I think he moved the cord and then it moved the mouse and then the mouse did a little
okay.
thing. But anyway, so we're trying to figure out where the lines are and where people can have open forum conversations, where people can do these things. It's just so hard to find the thing that meets the needs of like a capitalistic approach and like a freedom of speech approach. Like that's the dichotomy that we're kind of in right now. And I don't know where we can go because in the DMCA world, like technically Metallica doesn't even own their songs anyway.
Technically Metallica does.
No, those people, those individuals do not. The label or whoever they are doing owns their content. So this is the whole issue that.
So during the Napster thing, right? Because that's why Metallica is no longer with, I think it was MGM at the time.
Okay.
They actually sued for the rights to their songs too. So Metallica actually owns all of their own stuff.
So Metallica might own their own stuff.
Yeah.
I'm saying for the
but
majority
99%
of artists,
don't.
right? So like that's the whole thing that we've been with Harris Heller, for instance, and his music. Is like Facebook won't allow his music to be played, not because Harris Heller doesn't want the music to be played, but because the labels that he worked with refused to work with Facebook on their policies for automation. And so once again, it just comes down to this whole thing of like ownership of like everything is weird. Like we're in a weird place of ownership of digital content. We're in a weird place of ownership of like what you create artistically.
Yeah.
Because like I've been having this conversation where like there's this guy that makes these Dota videos.
Yeah.
They are the funniest thing ever. But he doesn't just use his voice and the content of the game.
Right.
He uses the content of the game, videos from YouTube, like he'll splice them in because they're memes.
Yeah.
Right, like they're known as a big internet meme.
Yeah.
And then he'll use music from a different group because it has like a funny sound for that moment.
Right.
Like he's using all of these other pieces of art to make.
So he's
a new
making
art form.
content.
But he's making content.
Yeah.
But he can't monetize any of it because none of it is original, if that makes sense. And so, I mean, and we're getting to the point like Nintendo's like him and hawed. I think they're on the backside of it right now. Like they're not doing so great with like what they allow. Like, did you see that one girl got sued by Nintendo because her name was something Pokemon-esque, and they came after her and said that because her boobs were out, basically that it was very anti the Pokemon brand, and they came out with this huge lawsuit. Did you see this?
So
whole
then what
story?
about Pokimane?
That's it. No, she had to change her name. Pokimane had to change her name. I believe
What?
it was Pokimane. Yeah, I think it was Pokimane. Someone had to change their name, and it was a big deal. Like, it was like,
I did not hear about Pokimane changing her name.
I think it was Pokimane. Lawsuit to remove Pokimane. Hold on. Oh wait, that's the other one. That's the dude that was saying he was a sex addict and he kept giving them all money. That was the other one too.
That's pretty funny though.
Hold on. So who was it? Nintendo sues live stream. Let me just pull that up here real quick. Nintendo sues live streamer. Oh, Poke Princess. So yeah, so Pokimane might be next on the chopping block. So she was a huge Pokemon person. This person, it's a good thing I can't show it on stream. She's very adult in nature. She has Pokemon tattoos in places, and she's in Pokemon dolls, and then that's all she has. Or like Pokemon dolls and stuff. And they were like, well, that's against our image, and so they came after her, and it was Nintendo. It wasn't like, the original Pokemon creators, whoever it was.
Game
it was
Freak.
Nintendo, Game Freak or whatever. It was literally a Nintendo. And we're in this weird world where it's like I used to say this comment all the time, especially with mixer streamers. Like, there was a guy whose name was Emperor Palpatine instead of Emperor Palpatine.
Right.
And I was like, dude. And there's another guy. His name was Obi Burt Kenobi. I was like, listen, dudes, you can't
Bert.
name, Bert. He's like, you can't name yourself, especially after anything Disney.
Yeah.
Because if you ever get to a point where you're notable or you have some notoriety, you're gone, dude. Like, they're going to take your brand, they're going to take your money, and they're going to be like, well, it's built off of Star Wars.
Right.
So, like, you have to try and come up like the nostalgic idea. There's nothing nostalgic, man. That's why I went that route.
Because you misspelled nostalgic.
No, my friend misspelled nostalgic, and I made fun of him by making a screen name on AOL Instant Messenger called Nostalgic, and was like, yo, man, how nostalgic are you feeling right now? That was literally how that name came into existence. But what I'm getting at is that, like, you have to create it. But the thing is we're getting to this point where it's like you aren't going to be able to be creative anymore, because it's going to get to the point where, like, if you're an actual canvas artist, the oil companies are going to be like, well, you used our oil paint on your canvas, and so we're subject to 35% of your royalties from your artwork because, you don't own that actual paint. We only license that paint
And then you have the canvas people that are like, well, it was our canvas.
Our canvas, right, exactly. So it's like, well, unless you go out and make your own canvas, and so it's like one of those things, like the idea of capitalism, my buddies and I were talking about this. There was this guy who wanted to make a chicken sandwich.
Right.
And wanted to do it from scratch. So he goes and he buys chickens and he raises them from little chicklets to full-grown chickens, harvests them himself, plucks them, cooks them, seasons them and all that stuff, and makes it, goes out and gets wheat, grows wheat in a field, grinds it into flour, makes the flour, makes the bread, and he eats the sandwich, and he's like, this tastes like crap. And it also cost me
$70.
insert like $70 or whatever the number was in order to make the sandwich, right?
Right.
The reason that capitalism works is because someone else does the mass production of the stuff, and then someone else assembles it and charges a fee for that, and then you consume it, right? But you aren't sitting there like eating a sandwich at, I'm trying to think of a restaurant, like what's the one that Jersey Mike's? Is that a national chain? You go to Jersey Mike's, you get a sandwich. You're not sitting there going like, I wonder who the flour producing company was in their bread recipe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not doing that. You're just eating a sandwich, and that's what you're doing. And so, like, you don't sit there. Like, you look at them and you say, I think you did a good job making me a sandwich. You don't sit there and say, like, well, the ownership of the sandwich rights come from all these different companies, including the companies that help them make the building, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
You look at their ability to take it. So that's why when I look at stuff like what the guys are creating on with Dota 2 content or whatever, is that person is creating something with other people's materials.
Right.
And it's good. So why can't that just be it and the end of it? Metallica can't even put their own stuff. I'm yelling because he's right there, even though he can hear me. They're putting their own stuff. They can't even put their own stuff on the internet. It's insane. And on top of that, it's a Blizzard show. Like you don't expect them to have like some big name like Hodor the DJ, was there. I saw that at the beginning or whatever. I don't know. It's crazy, man. I give up. I give up on the world. So, but yeah, I mean, was there anything else you want to talk about with that DMCA? Like, did anything else come of it? Like,
So
did Twitch say like, "Oh, my bad," or
so no, Universal, who I think Metallica is licensed with now, like the rumor mill has it that they are actually trying to look into the legality of the DMCA. Because so like right back to where we started with Metallica causing a big stink and getting DMCA. What happened?
Mjolnir popped in. So I'm saying hi. Continue.
Right back to where it started with Metallica getting DMCA enforced and started into the movement that it is right now. They're probably going to be the ones to shut it down.
That would be awesome. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Metallica. I actually lost a lot of respect for. I already thought they were overrated. Back in the day when that stuff went down with Napster, but like I lost all respect for them as individuals, as a band, as artists when that DMCA stuff went down. If they did this, it would minorly redeem some of what they've done as a group, but so here I'll just read this article. If you're watching BlizzCon on the Blizzard website near on Facebook, if you're watching on Twitch gaming channel, however, you only heard the opening of the song before it was replaced by royalty-free Magical Forest plinking and plonking instrumental track.
Yeah.
Presumably to avoid breaking copyright law. Twitch has history when it comes to DMCA takedowns. They kind of go through that. Some of Twitch chat seemed to prefer the new music with things like "This Is My Jam" and Metallica Trap Remix. So several viewers simply paid their respects by typing F in chat. And there is irony, right? Which they talk about then that it's them and they, but basically what I'm getting at is like, how is that a thing? You know what I mean? Like, how are we in a world? Like this has to be a simulation because they're like, how weird can we make it? Like, how weird can we take this before people start to catch on that this is a simulation? And, So to catch you up here, basically, during BlizzCon Line, which is what it was called, 2021, Metallica played their songs, and when they started to play their song, Twitch muted the audio from the stream and replaced it with like goofy music because of DMCA issues.
Yeah.
And so because Metallica was playing their own music on a live stream, and and you talk about the legality of it. Well, Blizzard obviously paid them a decent chunk of change to get them to show up to this.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I'm saying.
So
it's
then
like,
now they've killed it.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't see the actual thing, so like they shouldn't have had to pay as much. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, I mean,
I feel like just looking at it from an objective perspective, right? Is like Blizzard did pay for a service. And they paid for that service to be broadcasted across all platforms. And so if one platform decides to shut down what they paid for, now Blizzard has an issue with Twitch.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, but you know,
like
what's really
that's
funny?
how I would look at it.
So what's really funny to me in this whole thing is I hate all companies involved, all parties involved.
Oh yeah.
I can't stand Blizzard. I can't stand them as a company. I think that they prey on people who are like people like gay people, trans people, minority groups. I feel like they play on their emotions to like get them to buy their products because they're like, oh, look, we're putting a trans person in. It's not because they actually believe it. It's because they want to get money out of it. It's not like they actually care about those things. And then you have Metallica, which they're just greedy jerks that went after 9-year-olds with that. And then I can't stand Twitch Because Twitch is also like weird with their bannings and their terms of service.
Oh, dude.
So like,
their banning practices.
do you follow Twitch bans on Twitter?
I do.
Dude, the amount of people banned and unbanned, partnered streamers banned and unbanned in a day is just astronomical,
ridiculous.
man. It's just astronomical.
But do you know one you never see banned and unbanned?
Who?
Amaranth.
And then that's insane. That's absolutely insane.
Because, dude.
Isn't she the one that showed her
She
snatch
showed-
off like 3 times
She
on her
showed
stream?
off her vagine,
Yeah, her vag.
and she has showed off her boobs twice
Yeah.
on accident
Right.
and never had any kind of punishment whatsoever.
Yeah, that's insane to me. If a dude showed his little wiener on stream, I bet he'd get banned.
There was a guy. Okay, so speaking of that, there was a guy who didn't show his wiener. He showed a plastic wiener making fun of Amaranth.
And he got banned.
He sat exactly the same way she did and did all the stuff, wore the same shorts
Oh,
that
but it was
she
a
did.
fake wiener, right? Yeah.
And it was like
well,
a-
no, but see, but
and
they
it was like
consider
a
that
fake-
harassment of streamers. So
No,
that's a whole
he
different
wasn't even. He didn't even say her name. He wasn't. Right, he
know.
wasn't doing it to make to poke at her. He was doing it to prove a point.
thing. Right.
Right? And so he sits down and he's like talking to his chat, and then the dong falls out,
Hilarious.
and you could tell it's fake.
Right. It's
Like,
hilarious.
It's one of those big giant saggy scrotums.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
That can't possibly be human.
Right. Yeah.
Like you hang that off the back of a truck.
Right. Yeah. Well, douche is hanging
Douche is hanging that off the back
yeah,
of a truck.
Right, yeah.
So that flops out of his shorts, and then I swear to God, a foot-long double dong falls out. And it's not even attached.
Right. And that's hilarious. It's not even real at that point.
It's
right?
hilarious, right? He gets banned permanently.
Right. Permanently over that, right?
Permabanned.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. Like, and it's just, I don't know, man. I in the end, I try to be understanding, and I try to. Here's the thing. So, you and I know what can get us in trouble on Twitch,
Yeah,
so we don't do it
right.
for the most part.
Eh.
I would say for the most part. And if I were to do something
Right.
where I have broken the terms of service
Right.
and they were to ban me, right? I don't feel like I should be that upset. And the reason I say that is because you know the rules of the terms of service. And
Right.
if you break the rules of the terms of service,
You know you're breaking the rules.
you know you're breaking the rules, right? And even then, in the world of law, if you're speeding in a zone you don't know you're speeding in, that doesn't mean you're immune from the ticket. So
Right.
ignorance is also not substitute for the law, like you know, right? So if you
Right.
break the terms of service, so my point is
Like,
that
oh, officer, I didn't know it was only a 35 zone. You were doing 90 miles an hour.
yeah, exactly right. Yeah, what did you
Like-
think when you're passing cars? It's
Did you not notice when the school was a blur?
or me. You didn't even see me, right?
You didn't even
Yeah.
see me at all.
So my point is that you do need to be cognizant of those things, and I mean I get it. They're ran by humans,
Right.
So they're not going to always be perfect, and they're not going to influence it. I do think that Amaranth is a little bit special because it's like crazy how many offenses they've had.
Yeah.
Or
And
like,
that's why I brought it up.
or like the girl who threw the cat over her head. Even though I don't care, she threw a cat over her head.
They land on their
Whoop-de-friggin'
feet.
do. I mean, they land on their feet. They're cats.
So speaking of her, right? And speaking of these offenses, right? That what got me was not that she threw a cat over her head. It was when she spit vodka into its
Right.
mouth.
When she spit in that, that's what should have had people mad.
That's what should have had people mad.
Right, not the throwing, but
Right.
they latched on. It's the same thing like we were talking about with masks. Quit latching on to the stupid. Latch on to the actual issue.
And now we've circled back around.
Yes, we've taken it full circle. Listen and don't. There's the anthill you die on, or the hill you die on.
Yep.
Needs to not be an anthill. It
Right.
needs to be the mountain.
Right.
Right. And so, like,
You die on Currahee.
Do what now?
You die on Currahee.
Who's that?
It's a huge mountain. Like
Okay.
Currahee
got it,
is a
okay.
ginormous
I would say like
mountain.
Fuji or some mountain. whatever mountain, Everest. You know, you die on
you
Everest.
die on Everest.
You don't die on the hill your dog poops on.
You die on the foothills of Appalachia.
Right. Yeah. The 5,000 elevation mountains or whatever. Right. Yeah. So like, I think that people lose their focus sometimes on everything. Don't get me wrong. I don't think people should be on there streaming them abusing animals. You know, if I can't hunt, because that's considered animal abuse by Twitch's terms of service,
right?
Then I don't think you should be able to spit vodka into a cat's mouth, right? I don't care how attractive you are as a person, physically,
right?
You know, so I mean, I get it. I don't know. I want to pick your phones up so badly, it's bothering me.
Who said that?
Oh, I think he's talking about your kid, Mjolnir. Why? My phone's right here. In my pocket.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, so what else happened the past couple of weeks? Oh, I mean, you've got,
we're up to almost 72 executive orders.
that actually drains me of energy just hearing it.
Right.
Because I don't even want
I have to laugh because, like, I can't, my brain doesn't process it. It's like making a really dark joke.
So I
right?
told you, remember that when we had that conversation about this whole thing?
Yeah.
That I was having an argument with someone about how many executive orders Joe Biden had done.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, he's not even close to Trump. I can't wait until he crosses the threshold of Trump at like year 1.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go back into that thread and revitalize it and be like, this tweet or this comment aged well. And then I'm going to have a picture of how many executive orders he has done.
Yep.
Because like, and once again, I dislike Biden just as much as I dislike Trump. Right? Like, I don't like either of them. I don't like most politicians, period.
Right.
But when people take the team, like when they go on the team, right, and they're like, I'm on Team Biden or I'm on Team Trump or whatever.
Congratulations, you're a...
Right. I
can't say that word.
I will follow no person as if they are a deity ever in my life. I will never bow to a man. I am not that kind of a person.
You know what politician I do like, though?
Who?
The governor of Florida.
Yeah, I honestly think that he is going to run for president in 24.
He is, he's whew.
He's got it.
He'll Florida
work,
man.
he'll work for the populists.
Yeah. Did you see the phone call that he had with Joe Biden?
Oh no, I haven't seen it. No, I'll have to take a look at this.
So,
but his character and his persona is like Trump, but not Trump.
It's worse.
I don't expect him to do poop tweets
I'm going to quote this because there's only one way to quote it. He literally told the president of the United States,
"Yep,
I'm not going to call you the president." He said, Joe Biden said, you can address me as Mr. President or Mr. Biden. He said, no, fuck off, and hung up on him. It's okay. A full transcript.
So time out, though. That is actually better than Trump.
I mean, yeah.
You're saying that he's like an extreme form of Trump, but that to me shows like a backbone and a spine. Yes, it's offensive language, but it's like a backbone and a spine. Whereas with Trump, it was like old man ranting from the toilet on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like it's like a weird, like Trump wasn't
like grandpa yelling at people for being on his grass.
yeah, but on Twitter. Right?
Yeah.
And so like good. You know, I don't know if I necessarily
because he was talking about how like they were talking about the mask mandates and all this stuff, and it came down to like the travel ban, right? They're wanting to institute a new travel ban. And the governor of Florida was like, look, I will activate the National Guard and I will have police escorts for my people in and out of Florida if I have to, but they will not be restricted.
Okay. And
they were like, well, you can't do that. And he was like, I can't remember who else he was talking to. I think it was Dr. Fauci that he was talking
I'm reading
to.
I'm reading an article while you're talking about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Continue.
And he was like, Fauci, Joe, this is what's going to happen. And if you don't like it, then you'll just have to deal with it. And Joe Biden jumped in and was like, you can address me as Mr. President or Mr. Biden. And he was like, no, you can just fuck off. And then hung up the phone.
I'm trying to find the actual like recording, or that's amazing. I just that's good. I mean, like that's good. Like I want to hear that, right? Like so one of the things I always tell my parents is like I actually do want to see someone like Trump eating ketchup on his steak was like in the right direction, but I don't want Trump. I don't want some real estate mogul that's a millionaire
Yeah.
going in and making that. I want some guy who, you know, like remember the plumber that was going for president or something like that, or governor of Florida or something like that. Joe the plumber or something was like running for office or whatever.
Yeah.
I want a story more like that, where it's like a guy who runs a small company, you know, doesn't make a whole lot of money, but he runs a small company well and they do a good job. I want someone like that in power to see how it goes, right? Because I think that, like, even Trump is tied with the Clintons. Trump is tied with Epstein. Like, it's not like he's immune from, like, this establishment level of corruption and stuff that's been going on.
I know.
I mean, you can watch documentaries about Trump that just show he is an insanely, like the Trump Academy was an extremely corrupt scheme. A lot of stuff that he's done is really messed up, and like you can't overlook that. The guy's company went into Chapter 11 bankruptcy like 5 times. That's not an efficient way to run your business. Chapter 11 is an efficient way to get out of debt issues.
The company did not. Individual hotels did.
Oh no, I looked into it. He definitely, his company had to several times go into, and the thing is, bankruptcy isn't always necessarily at the fault of the leadership, right? Like there could be some like a market condition creates like an overabundance of debt to your revenue, and so you have to do consolidation of debt. It makes sense. I understand that. But like you don't do it all the time on the regular.
Right.
If you're doing something right, then you're obviously making bad choices and you're reading the tea leaves incorrectly.
Right.
If you keep having to run into those situations.
Right.
So anyway, what I'm getting at is like I don't know much about this governor of Florida. Like I don't know him that much. But like
I don't know anything about him other than the conversation that I saw.
Okay, yeah. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe but they are saying that he looks like he's going to be. But dude, Trump is saying he's coming back. And he's trying to start a Trump party, like an actual party to get them out of the establishment of Republicans. And that to me is once again that deification of a man. Like Donald Trump does not deserve deification. He's not worthy of worship.
I don't think it's deification.
If you call your party by your name, there
what
is
else
an
are you gonna
ego.
call it?
Freedom Caucus. Something.
You said
something.
cock.
Yeah, cock. I said cock. Just come up with a name. The Tea Party even had a name. It was called the Tea Party, you know, like they were against taxation and stuff. So like, nope, Donald Trump, yeah, because it was like he's still pushing for a 2024 presidency.
See, I've not heard that. From the interviews and stuff that I saw with him, he was like, well, we don't know yet. He was like, I'll be involved somehow.
Right.
He was like, but I don't know if I'm actually going to run.
I guarantee you he runs in 2024.
I think that it will be that he supports and he backs the guy from Florida.
If he does, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't have a problem with that. But once again, it's like you need to like form out like an actual platform that kind of explains the party and its values. I hope that because Donald Trump was like the first pro-gay marriage president to ever be in office, pro-gay marriage prior to being in office. Yeah. I hope that they don't focus on the issues that the left tries to make issues.
Right.
Don't try to focus on like inequalities of racial inequalities, like critical race theory and critical gender theory and all that stuff. Don't focus on that. Don't play their game. Focus on American jobs. Focus on American exceptionalism, like how our system is established, actually follow the rules of the system. You know what I mean? Like those are
Yeah.
the things that I hope that they focus on. That would actually be more winning than like establishment Republicans or establishment Democrats. So yeah, and see that's what I'm saying. It's like Pence would never be his vice president again
Ever.
if Trump ran, because Pence was relatively establishment. You know, he was kind of like, well, now don't get me wrong. I still think that Trump, while I don't think that he incited the actual riots, like I don't think he did that, he's kind of a turd sandwich about how he handled it. He didn't handle his loss with dignity, in my opinion. And so I don't, you know, I don't really know where he could go for a 2024 campaign, and it would also possibly be a detractor for him to push for DeSantis, for instance, as a candidate, because there are people like myself who look at that and go, man, Trump handled that so poorly at the end of 2020, you know. So I don't know. I think that it's a weird world we live in, man, where what was it? Pete Buttigieg, you know, from South Bend.
Yeah.
He made this comment because he got put up for like Department of the Interior or something, or infrastructure or something, and roads. And he made some quote that made it like roads were some kind of a social issue. And it's like, nah, man, roads are roads, bro. Like I use a road to go to Taco Bell, which I'm about to do because I'm starving. But
Taco Bell, Bubba?
Yeah, you want some Taco Bell, dude? Yeah. Chat, I think it's time for Taco Bell. You got anything else? Nah, I ain't no Jimmy John's.
Ooh, gross.
I like Jimmy John's once every like 3 months.
I don't like Jimmy John's. I think their sandwiches are trash.
Oh, I like their bread a lot. The bread's good.
Look, the only bread worth buying that you can't get at the grocery store is Italian urban cheese bread.
From Subway?
From Subway.
You go Jimmy John's and then you're going to go in here and say some Subway.
No.
madness. Come
I'm
on
just saying. That's the only bread worth actually buying.
The thing with Jimmy John's that oh man.
Crazy freaky
Real
fast.
quick. This is crazy. So I got my 3070, you know. This was a moment where I was like, this is the future. Okay. I got my 3070. It arrived at my store at the store over on the east side. Get a wrap, they're better. That's right, man. It also makes you not so fat. Get some lettuce. Anyway, actually, you know what? Penn Station's wraps are phenomenal. They're like this yellow, stretchy, chewy bread. Anyway, I'm off track. So I went to Best Buy. This is how quick it was. I'd already paid for it. I walked in and I showed them my phone. I showed them my ID. And they gave me my video card and I walked out the door. That was an amazing shopping experience. But my wife was like, I want Five Guys. And I was like, all right, when do I order?
Oh, yeah, she does.
Yeah. So I get, she said get him a bean burrito. That's what Mrs. Pugh said, to get him a bean burrito.
No, I'm not getting him a bean burrito. I'm going to give him a cheese wrap.
He's gonna poop beans everywhere.
He won't eat a bean burrito.
He might.
He won't.
My kids loved refried beans when they were his age.
He won't eat it, though. He'll just play with it.
Okay. Well, anyway, so then I'm in the parking lot. The Jimmy John's is across, or the Jimmy John's, the Five Guys is across the street.
Yeah.
I take my phone out. I put my order in. I say click. Now, I don't know how many people go to Five Guys, but Five Guys usually takes a long time. Like when you go in, you place your order. It's not like long, but I'm saying it's not fast.
I mean,
it's
they're making it right then when you order it.
Yeah, but sometimes it can take them. Well, there's 6 people in front of you. Like you're in a line of 6 people. It might take a while. Is what I'm getting at.
But it's delicious.
It is, dude. I love Five Guys. I love Five Guys. I will say though.
You heard it here, Chad. He loves taking Five Guys.
I do. I love taking Five Guys. I like taking, and that's the other thing too, is it's usually packed, right?
Oh,
so anyway,
yeah,
so I get my phone. I get there. There's like 5 people in line waiting for their food, and I have literally ordered this 3 minutes ago, but it wouldn't let me say pickles on the side for my wife's burger, right? So I walk up and I see our burgers, and I go, "Hey, my wife, it wouldn't let me say pickles on the side," and they go, they took the pickles off, put them in a thing, and I had my food within 15 seconds of walking into the restaurant, and I was out, and it was a phenomenal experience.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, the future is here.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know why I was talking about that, but we're going to Taco Bell is the whole point. We're talking about food. I'm so hungry, chat. I'm talking about Five Guys, ordering Five Guys. That's how hungry I am.
Welcome to the Just Talking About Ordering Food podcast.
Hey, Kateri, I hope your stomach gets better.
The only way his stomach's going to get better if he loses it.
He ate chili and it's fugged up, as he said.
Good.
Or she said.
Good. Maybe he'll shit off some weight and his knees will take a rest.
Is he a big boy?
Yeah, he's a big old boy.
Bigger than me, big boy?
Like bigger than both of us together.
Hey man, keep eating that chili.
He's an Air Force vet.
Oh well, that makes
and he thought that Guam was a deployment. It's a territory, bro.
He said Sugma is what he said.
Sugma.
Sugma. Yeah. Yeah, we all know what that means. But yeah, no. So anyway, thanks everybody for being here and hanging out and chat and listening to us rant. We didn't have like topics today.
It was just good to have.
Yeah,
it was good to just have a little
last
rant
week
day.
Sucked, man. So we just needed to kind of have have a day, and we'll hopefully be a little bit more on it. But also the stuff that happened, we did cover it. I mean, the big thing was the Disney thing, in my opinion. Like the biggest event.
Disney
that
and
happened,
DMCA.
Yeah, and the DMCA. I think that those are. Oh, we didn't talk about the insulin issue. I will say, well, no, we talked about the insulin issue
last week. The
last podcast because we were talking about all of his executive orders.
Yeah.
And we were talking
my daughter
about how,
having.
Yeah, his daughter having it. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
type
we talked
1
about
diabetes.
It. Yeah, I mean, I've got a buddy who even made a huge post. He's a diabetic. His Facebook post was like literally this long. And he was basically saying like, I'm blessed enough to have insurance that'll help me.
Yeah.
He was like, but I don't know how people are living with this. Like, I don't know. And I mean, it is crazy. I mean, once again, though, like this whole, like, we need a free market. That's what happens when a free market happens. They just go like, well, we're going to charge $8,000 for a vial of insulin, and that's what they say. And that's how free markets work. So you do need some government, chat. I know it's a crazy concept, but you do need some rules from a governing body. It's a weird thing, but then they come in and other governing body comes in and says, well, we don't like that idea, so we're going to make it so that these companies make a bunch of money.
What are you doing, man?
So, anyway, thanks to everybody for hanging out. We'll be here again next week.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, See you next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
But yeah, see you guys.